Hey guys, it's Zuna here, and I'm gonna do a guide on Sylvanas. I'm pretty much just gonna be explaining her talent choices and what makes her strong and which maps she's best on. Alright, clicking on her, I'm gonna go into try mode. And the main thing about Sylvanas is that I feel like she is probably the best range carry at the moment. In team fights, she has high sustained damage, and her alt and Venom with Blood for Blood give her super high burst, and her versatility of being able to PvE well and team fight makes her uh, really strong. And the reason why, what I mean by PvE is like killing buildings because of her passive, which is a 1 second stun to all minions, mercs, and towers. So like backdooring or anything, or it just makes her a huge threat. And she's the only hero in the game besides maybe Asmodin that can stack up a creep wave to keep pushing, because the towers are the only things that will kill your minions. So if you disable the towers and then you kill the creep wave instantly, then you pretty much have your whole wave there. If someone has to contest with you, and if you get 2 waves built up, then that just guaranteed someone has to rotate and deal with you. Now, looking at her kit, her Q is she's the closest target, and it has 5 charges. If you kill a minion or mercenary, anything, it recharges your Q. And then your W is a long-range nuke that puts a dot on people, and it spreads. And then your E is Haunting Wave, sends forth a wave of banshees, dealing very little damage, but you can teleport like this. The main thing about her teleport too is that when she is actually in the animation mid-E, is that she's invulnerable. So that makes her really strong, and because you're invulnerable, it's not even unstoppable. Invulnerable, you can dodge skills that do damage, like Faustet alt, Kael'thas Q, Asmodin Q, Tyrael alt, all these things. So that's another thing she has over anyone else. Now, I would say the biggest strength about her though is that her early game is pretty good. Her laning is really strong. She's hard to gank because of her E, and she's pretty much good on every single map. She doesn't have a weak map. Like some heroes, they're late game, they can't do well on mines or stuff like that, but she's strong in any single map, and that makes her a huge threat. And she combos well with majority of heroes, because her alt, which is a silence, it's a silence for 2.5 seconds and does high damage. So like anybody out of position that can't use spells for 2.5 seconds usually will die, even if it's a tank. And now I'm going to go over her talent choices. And for her talent choices at level 1, there's pretty much only 2 viable things. It's either With the Wind, which increases your range on your Q by 25%, which is a lot. It will put it like all the way over here. And then the other one is Barb Shot. Withering Fire deals 200% bonus damage to minions and mercenaries. The best way to figure out which one you want to do is, if they have promotes, like any promotes, and you know you're wave clearing, get Barb Shot. Because this game, not only does it make it so you kill promotes really fast, it makes it so you just push in general fast. And then when you do jungle or any mercenary camps, it increases the damage to it. So it's really strong PvE wise, and it does damage to, I'm pretty sure it does damage to buildings too. Let me make sure on that. I'm pretty sure it does though. Alright, considering it does 28, and we'll get Barb Shot. Okay, no, it doesn't do damage to buildings. I always thought it did. I just learned something new. Alright, so it's really strong against minions, and PvE in this game is actually a big deal. Like being able to clear waves and rotating, or like backdooring and stuff like that, is a huge thing. So if they have promotes, or they have 2 melee. Now the reason why I say if they have 2 melee you want to pick up this skill is because your Q hits the closest target, not the whatever target you're hitting. So you'll always be hitting the melee with your Q, and Q is actually a lot of her damage. So if they have 2 melee, and by 2 melee I mean 2 tanks or like an Illidan. The only exception I don't count healers as melees, by the way, but if they have like double tank or they have an Illidan, then you pretty much will get Barb Shot, or a Kerrigan you get Barb Shot. And then if they have Zeratul and they have no promotes, like he's not really melee, he is, but he always blinks out, so you want range. Like I would say 90% of the time I get Barb Shot, 10%, not even like, yeah, 10% I get With the Wind. It's really rare I get With the Wind, but when a certain situation comes, I get it. Now coming to 4, there's really no other choice. It will be Envenom. I think Envenom will still be like the go-to even after the patch. Now at 7, the biggest thing is that there's so many things to choose from. Remorseless gives 25% extra damage to your autos, which is pretty good considering your Q is always up. So like you'll usually have 25% additional damage on your autos. And Unstable Poison makes it so that you clear waves almost instantly. Shade Form gives stealth. And see, the thing you need to learn on this talent is, if they have lots of promotes and it's really PvE life, or they're always grouping and pushing your mobs, because you can use like your alt or your W to spread on mobs with the Unstable Poison, and it will give a lot of AoE free damage to hit on the heroes. That, or you're only fighting and you just need more damage, then Remorseless. And then if they're targeting you and they're always targeting you, then you want Shade Form because it gives you stealth. Now I'm gonna level up the talents to might as well get it to 20. Alright, the thing is, right, is that when you get a Shade Form, the reason why it's so strong is that it's instant stealth when you throw it out. And not just that, when you E, you're still in stealth for 3 seconds. So like, as you can see, they don't know where I'm at. And it says stealth, it's not cloak, so I'm pretty sure you're invisible. Like, they can't actually see the cloak animation, and that's why it's really hard to even know where she's at. So like, if you throw it out and nothing hits you and you're just in stealth, and then you can appear here, they won't know you. I don't even think they see the E animation. So you're really stealth and it's really hard to track. Now the things that counter that is dots or like AoE damage that's constantly hitting you and stuff like that. But it's really good against alts, summon alts like Raiders. If you do it, they will de-aggro you. Kerrigan's Ultralist will de-aggro you, and Water Elemental will de-aggro you. At 10, it's always Wailing Arrow. Now with 13, you want to get 2 talent choices. It's either Evasive Fire, which just pretty much makes you faster every time you land a Q, and that, or Spell Shield. Now the thing is, you want to get Evasive Fire if you're ever kiting hard and they don't have super high burst. What I mean by that is, like, if let's say they have like double tank, like a new bacterial, right? Then I would want Evasive Fire so I can run away. But let's say their comp is like Zeratul, Falstead, Kael'thas. Then I'll want Spell Shield because they have such high burst. I just need to survive. And against Jaina, I just usually get Spell Shield because if you ever are slowed by 30%, this is never going to catch up to it. Like, you'll never be fast, you'll always be caught. So might as well reduce the damage take at 13 with Spell Shield. Now I'm going to level up my character more. At 16, there's pretty much one choice, which is Blood for Blood. I think I've always gotten Blood for Blood. But the other viable choice is Cold Embrace. Now, the thing about Cold Embrace is it's more PvE than PvP because when you're actually fighting, chances are of you Wing someone, because it would be actually really good if it didn't reduce the range, but as you can see when I got it, it reduces the range of my W. Like, it reduced it a lot right there, as you can see. Like, it used to be over here, but now it's like right here, so it nerfs the range on it, which means that it's only going to hit melee majority of time, and it's really rare for it to hit the melee and bounce to the range. And not just that, it only applies the debuff, the vulnerability debuff, for 2 seconds. So it's not like it will, like, you'll have it on long enough to like have everyone's skills compared to like Tyranda's passive where it's 4 seconds. So that's why, but this skill does make it so that if you ever do jungles or if you backdoor buildings, so I know it increases the damage done by buildings by 12%. So it's really good if you know that, like, you're on a map like Curse Hollow and you have to kill bosses fast and you're not really team fighting at all, or you are just like you know the only way to win is backdooring. And then at 20, there's nothing else to get besides Bolt, pretty much. I'm here. Bolt makes it so that you can blink, it can cancel out, so it can dodge skill shots and that, and then it makes it so it's really strong. And the big thing about Bolt too is just it makes it not only can you be aggressive, you can be defensive, and then like you can do tricks with it too. Like with your E, as long as it's cast out, you can blink on someone, ult them, blood for blood, everything, and then E super far away. And that whole time that you're travel, you're invulnerable. So like you're invulnerable for at least a second after you do all that. As long as you don't get CC'd and you time it with your E, you're good. Especially with stealth, like they won't even know that you're there. Like, you just blink in and then you just E out. You waste all your skills on someone and blow them up. It's a really cool trick. It is a little advanced, but it's definitely really good in certain situations. And not just that, it's super, super flashy. And the thing about Sylvanas, right, is that because she has blood for blood and usually Envenom at 16, I have Cold Embrace just for you to show it, but being able to do 15% of someone's life and then 780 poison damage at level 20 is a lot of free instant damage. That's the thing. And then her ult is 600 damage. So if I hit someone with an alt, like a squishy, I'm at, let's say a squishy's at 3k life, like I'm at 3.2 pretty much, so all the squishies are around 3k life. My ult hits for 600, this hits for 780, that's already, what, 1200, 1380, and then my W hits for 320, or 400, and then my Q's hit for 85 times 5, that's 400, and then my autos, and then pretty much all in all, I do about almost like 2.7k damage with like 2 autos, a W, 5 Qs, and Venom, Blood for Blood in my ult. Usually you don't use E for damage because it's an escape. But all that together makes it so that if anyone's out of position, any squishy, you can pretty much solo kill them as long as they don't get a heal. In like 3 seconds you can solo kill any squishy. So not only is she like a huge threat, but she can solo kill people. And that's a huge thing for making plays. And that's one of the reasons why she's so strong. And especially because her passive, she can backdoor and stuff like that.
Done.
And I can't really talk too much more, but I think I've gotten the gist of it, and this is just a quick video of trying to explain why Sylvanas is good and giving a little tips and tricks and the reasoning about why I pick certain talents. And I appreciate everyone watching the video. I probably will be making a video either about this or competitive games about every week, so have a good one, guys, and catch my next video.